Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's that wonderful time again. It's Royal Rumble season. You know, Royal Rumble season, aside from WrestleMania, is probably my favorite time to be watching WWE because, the build-up of the road to WrestleMania, the Rumble match itself. There's just a certain aura of that build-up to the granddaddy of them all, if you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, and we've rebranded this podcast for those of you who've seen the update. If you haven't, go back and watch that before watching this. But yeah, I'm Coffee Lover 239, and with me, once again, as always, is Heathy. Say hi, Heathy.
Yes.
Alright, and without further ado, why don't we get into it? Our first match is the Men's Royal Rumble match. 30 men, one will stand, and one will get a World Championship match at WrestleMania 35. And currently we have about 19 confirmed people. R-Truth, who won Mixed Match Challenge to get the number 30 spot. Drew McIntyre, all of the New Day, Seth Rollins, Jeff Hardy, Dean Ambrose, Bobby Lashley, the almighty Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe, Elias, Baron Corbin, who still dresses like he owns the place, because apparently putting him in his own ring gear and putting a shirt on him, too much. Jinder Mahal, Apollo Crews, Andrade Cien Almas, don't make me call him just one name, goddammit, Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, Titus O'Neil, and Randy Orton. Woo! What a big old field we have here. To be honest, it's kind of really hard to think who's actually gonna win the Rumble this year. I mean, in previous years it's been kind of obvious, but this year, not so much. I mean, you look at this field, it's like, really, I could see most of these guys winning. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
Well, for the first time in a few years, I think there's quite a few options, whether it's actual clear favourites or dark horses. Want to address something first. R-Truth, he will not be in the Rumble.
Oh?
Maybe he just shows up to the wrong venue or tries to enter number 30 in the Women's Rumble. It's WWE. You know they're going to mess it up somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking like the outside guys with an outside chance. You're thinking Andrade Cien Almas. You're thinking Mustafa Ali. Maybe if Balor loses as the man against Lesnar, goes on to enter as the Demon and win. That's not highly likely, but it's a possibility. There's three clear favourites. Rollins, who's been white hot recently, had a great babyface run for the last year or two. Braun Strowman, obviously he's had his issues in the past, and they wanted to protect him by not having him win the Rumble. I'm sure they're saving Lesnar losing the title for Mania. And Drew McIntyre, another guy who's got a lot of momentum riding into this pay-per-view. But if you're going to ask me who's going to win, I think not only will Seth Rollins win, he's going to enter from number one to win it, and he's also going to beat Lesnar at WrestleMania.
That would be something. I mean, everyone has been saying that usually this would be the plan for some time. And yeah, but for me personally, I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, Rollins is probably still white hot right now. And I mean, hell, now that they've wrapped up that whole Dean Ambrose feud, they can focus on this and probably do the plan and have him essentially be what, well, Roman was gonna be, but actually Rollins is over, and unfortunately Roman's not here with us, so I think probably Seth Rollins has the best shot right now. Our next match is the Women's Royal Rumble match. 30 Women Royal Rumble match for a Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 35. And unfortunately, we know more than half the field, except we did last time because 19 entrants were revealed, except now 23 entrants for the Women's Royal Rumble. And we have confirmed so far Carmella, who won Mixed Match Challenge to enter at number 30. And let's see, we also have Ember Moon, Natalya, Bayley, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, so all the Riott squad. Let's see, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Alicia Fox, Zelina Vega, Naomi, Mickie James, the Iconic Duo / Iconics, Charlotte Flair, Tamina, Dana Brooke, Lana, Nia Jax, Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss, who actually confirmed it, like, on the Go Home edition of Raw. I'm pretty sure at least it had to have been. Yeah, Go Home edition of Raw beforehand. And Lacey Evans. Yeah, I don't know if I'm honestly too excited for the Women's Royal Rumble match here this year. I mean, not as many surprise entrants, and I can already think of the obvious ones they'll bring back. You know, Trish Stratus and Lita. I mean, they were in last year's Women's Rumble match, so they probably could come back again here with, you know. And I really don't have much else to say. Healy, who do you think's going to win?
Oh, I agree with you on there's not going to be many surprises this year. They didn't really have the greatest intentions in mind when going to Twitter to announce most of the women, or at least 20 of them, maybe even more. It wasn't the smartest idea by them, and just taking a bit of the excitement away from the Rumble. I know they were just people that were expected to be in anyways, but you know, surprises would just still be there if, say, one of them didn't show up or name that maybe was on the lower card did. I think with the Mae Young Classic and Evolution, you see a lot of women who perhaps last year wasn't even with, and NXT and NXT UK, who wasn't even with in a shout of entering last year's Rumble. There's a lot more. There's an element of surprise there still, but that's mainly because of the stuff that's happening around WWE, not main roster on NXT and everything around that. There's only one clear winner for me, and WWE have made it abundantly clear of showing that through the promos and the matches, and I think Charlotte's going to win.
I see. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems as if the golden goose of the women's division, who gets overpushed to hell, is probably going to win this one here. And I know some people have said Seth Rollins is overpushed, and whatever. I mean, I guess it really may not matter too much, at least for the women's side, because the rumor is that at WrestleMania it would be a triple threat match involving Ronda Rousey, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. So, like, all of them would be involved, and either it'd be for Raw Women's Championship or SmackDown Women's Championship. Well, I'm not sure, SmackDown. Or it could be some kind of title unification match or something. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's probably really a best bet to go with Charlotte at this point. Anyone else, they're really not going to do anything with. Like, they're really not going to do anything with, like, Ember or Natalya. And I mean, yeah, it's kind of a shame, but whatever. We got to do what we got to do. So I'll go with Charlotte Flair. So, our next match is a match that I previously had on a list of dream matches that should have happened, but almost never did. Now, I can take it off the list, because it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor for the Universal Championship. Now, at Crown Jewel, after Roman vacated the title, there was that horrible shit show of a match that I'm not going to go into full detail about, but basically, Brock won thanks to piece of shit Baron Corbin. In a TLC, Strowman got his revenge on Corbin in a TLC match, although really they only used chairs and nothing more, thus stripping Corbin of all his authoritative power and earning a Universal Championship match against Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. However, for reasons unknown, this apparently was never the frickin' plan, and that this was only advertised like this to sell tickets, put butts in seats, a bait and switch. It's not the first time this company's done it, and I guarantee you it won't be the last. And on the January 14th episode of Raw, Corbin confronted Strowman and insulted him because he still thinks he's hot shit, so he chased him into the parking lot where Corbin hid in a limousine. Strowman shattered the glass and broke off the door after Elias told him that Corbin was in the limo, only for Vince McMahon to appear, because it was his limo. But if you watched the opening segment that night, seeing him get out of the limo, you would already know this. So Mr. McMahon fined Strowman $100,000, kayfabe, and then argued with Mr. McMahon, who canceled the match with Lesnar. With nothing to lose, Strowman flipped over the limo. So later that night, they had a fatal 4-way, and basically Finn Balor won. It was Balor, John Cena, Drew McIntyre, and motherfucking Corbin. And now, here we are. Yeah, talk about another David versus Goliath thing. They've been doing this a lot lately with Brock Lesnar. I mean, you had the AJ Styles match at 2017 Survivor Series. You had the Daniel Bryan match at last year's Survivor Series. And now we get this. Healy, who do you think's going to win?
I think that David and Goliath storyline works wonders whenever it's Brock Lesnar and a smaller guy. The past two matches, like you said, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, you just know Lesnar loves to work with them and puts that little into the matches that he works. I mean, on Raw, when Balor was facing Strowman, you could see Lesnar was genuinely smiling at what Balor was doing, like moves and the way he conducts himself around the ring. It's going to be a really good match. It's been rumored that Finn Balor will be using a demon persona and he will just come out as the man himself. No face paint, no special gear, just him, Finn Balor. The demon persona is undefeated.
Well,
it's been said that.
Not exactly undefeated, because remember NXT TakeOver the End? There was the steel cage match with Samoa Joe, essentially, and Joe pinned the demon.
Oh, according to WWE, NXT is not canon, so I think.
Well, I say otherwise.
But it's WWE. It's the corporate management we're talking about here. They obviously have a disagreement to us. I'd like to think that they'd keep that in consideration, but no. According to the main roster, Balor's undefeated as the demon persona. I think they even mentioned it on commentary at one point. So I think Vince is staying to that mindset. And maybe he'll want to save the Balor loss for something a bit more meaningful than a last-minute switch with Lesnar. So I think that Lesnar's going to win, and he's probably going to drop the title at WrestleMania 35.
Unfortunately for us, that means we have to wait a few months too longer for him to lose that godforsaken belt. It drives me crazy, it really does. And sadly, I have to agree with you that Brock Lesnar is probably going to win. It's kind of a damn shame. Or they could probably pull what they did at No Way Out 2004. But I don't think they're going to do that at all. No, I don't see that. And storyline-wise, there's no reason for the Demon to come out. Only because the build-up has been so short. They virtually backed themselves to where even if they wanted to, they never had the time to do so because they kept booking it as Lesnar versus Strowman, and then last minute this happens. Yeah, I'm going with Brock Lesnar, and we just have to keep dealing with several more months of agony of that part-time and lazy SOB, who apparently was always only in it for the money. Yeah, let's just move on. Our next match is Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. So, if I could just find it. Oh yeah, here it is. At TLC, Daniel defeated AJ to retain the WWE Championship. On January 1st, 2019 episode of SmackDown, Styles earned yet another opportunity against Bryan at the Royal Rumble by defeating Randy Orton, Mustafa Ali, Rey Mysterio, and Samoa Joe in a fatal 5-way match. I am disappointed because it's a damn rematch. Even though they got rid of the rematch clause, I think, we can still do this. Still have him win and get away with it scot-free, and no one will complain. It's a shame, because that fatal 5-way had a lot of other guys with other opportunities as well. Yeah, except, never mind, but whatever. Anyway, so here we are. I mean, this should still be a good match. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
Feud has been really interesting as of late. You have Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, he's not converted, he's already a vegan, but he's definitely reminds me of that CM Punk persona he had in 2010 when he was trying to force his own beliefs on other people. You've
Mm-hmm.
got AJ, who's just okay, and put in layman's terms. But Daniel Bryan is relatively new to the title reign. He could still have a good match at Elimination Chamber or Fastlane. I think there is vein yet. Definitely needs to give him some room to breathe with the title. I think taking it off him right now will be a bit too early. Bearing in mind, this may be a WrestleMania rematch, or outside of these two that will make a good WWE title match at Mania. With credibility, you have Orton and Mustafa Ali. If you're stretched. So for that reason, I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Daniel to retain. Maybe AJ gets another opportunity somewhere down the line, but for now, Daniel's going to retain the title.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is a bit too early to take it off Daniel. He won it back on, like, the Survivor Series, like, or no, the Raw before, SmackDown before Survivor Series. Little bit flustered here, but whatever. Just a lot of crazy stuff going on. But yeah, Daniel won it on the SmackDown before Survivor Series, like 2018, and it's still relatively young, this ring, and there's probably still a lot more you could do with him, to be honest, in here. And probably AJ may get another opportunity, or who knows what else they'll do with him. But yeah, I will go ahead and say Daniel Bryan for now. Our next match is Asuka versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So at TLC, Asuka actually defeated Becky and Charlotte in a triple threat TLC match to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Oh, it was so satisfying when she did, even though she may have had a little assist from Ronda, but Ronda had her own agenda, whatever. So on the Raw the following night, the McMahon family announced they would now be running both Raw and SmackDown, even though they already did, and announced that former champions would no longer have an automatic rematch clauses, meaning Lynch would not automatically receive a rematch for the title and instead have to receive one. They pleaded their cases, a few of the superstars pleaded their cases to Triple H, and so the triple threat match happened on the January 1st, 2019 episode of SmackDown, between Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Carmella to determine Asuka's challenger. And Becky Lynch won, and here we are. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
Well, I mean, it sort of seems like the same formula, but with three people switching: Asuka, Charlotte, and Lynch. These three have dominated the women's division for a few months now, especially Lynch and Charlotte. I think back to the match at Hell in a Cell and what they did at Survivor Series. Lynch was on the shelf, but obviously that was part of an integral feud between Charlotte and Rousey. That was part of it. Led to a failed heel turn. Depending on the events of the actual women's rumble, I think that Lynch will end up going for the Raw Women's title. It will be like a triple threat, I believe, between her, Charlotte, and Rousey. So, as concerns as like this match, I think Asuka needs to keep her momentum by retaining. They need to give another woman a shot at Mania, whether it be Naomi or Nikki Cross, just someone. I don't know, just someone who can just build up a bit of momentum and give something fresh for the women's title, because it just seems like it's the same few people going for their title recently. So I think I'm going to go with Asuka to retain.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, honestly. Much like Daniel Bryan was early with his reign, so is Asuka with this reign, and this is actually her first reign with the SmackDown Women's Championship. Maybe they can build her back up a bit. I don't think she'll ever quite go back to the full-blown killing machine we all knew from NXT, but yeah, at least this way, Asuka can actually, keep the championship, and who knows, Becky may actually pull, well, I guess they say pull a Roman from 2017 and enter the Rumble, even despite losing the match. But hey, she's at least more, and she could probably do it. But yeah, I should go with Asuka. I'm going to go with Asuka on this one. Our next match is Ronda Rousey versus Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's Championship. So at TLC, Ronda retained the Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax. And on the January 7th, 2019 episode of Raw, Rousey appeared on Alexa Bliss's new show, or should I say now over show, A Moment of Bliss, and mentioned she wanted to face Sasha Banks next. So Jax interrupted, saying she wanted a rematch against Rousey, but, well, And then Banks came out humbled by Rousey's comments and challenged Jax to a match in which the winner would earn a championship opportunity. Banks defeated Jax to earn a Raw Women's Championship match against Rousey at the Rumble, and here we are again. Heathy, who do you think's gonna win?
I think the result of this match is been a bit spoiled by what's been in the news recently. That Ronda Rousey, although she initially signed a 3-year deal with WWE, that after WrestleMania she would be leaving because she wants to start a family, and she can't do that if she's on the road all the time. So definitely going to affect this match and the outcome. It's been rumored that Rousey is to lose the title at WrestleMania, whether that be Nia Jax or Charlotte or Becky. It's still up in the air, and I'm not sure WWE, let alone us, know what's going to happen like the show shows. That Ronda Rousey is undefeated in singles action. I know she lost the tag match alongside Natalya, but let's be fair, that lost a tag match, the undefeated in singles action, Natalya can't ruin that, hopefully. So the foregone conclusion here that there can only be one winner, logical winner out of this match, and that's going to be Ronda Rousey to retain.
Yeah, I've heard all the stuff going on about Rousey, like, not necessarily leave WWE, but take a break at least, so she could start a family at least. And yeah, either way, I don't see Ronda losing that belt until around Mania. I mean, hell, they're giving her a pretty damn long dominant reign because, well, unfortunately, But hey, I mean, this should still be a decent enough match. I mean, they're both pretty good enough workers, and it's been entertaining, at least the feud so far. So, yeah, I say Ronda Rousey will retain. And our last match, The Bar versus The Miz and Shane McMahon. Those poor titles, I swear the tag team division has been on some kind of just rut, So it's stuck in a rut and just can't pull itself out no matter what they do. And I mean, hell, last year at Mania 34, you literally had Braun Strowman team with the son of referee John Cone to actually win the friggin' Raw Tag Team Championships. So who's to say this wasn't going to happen? Whatever, let me get into the details at least. So at Crown Jewel, the product of Vince's semen won the WWE World Cup, replacing Miz in the final after a kayfabe injury because of a pre-match brawl. Following this, Miz began a pursuit to form a tag team with Shane, claiming they could be the best tag team in the world. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin called. They want that title back. So Shane finally agreed to the pairing, and on the January 8th, 2019 episode of SmackDown, Miz challenged The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus, for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship at the Royal Rumble, and The Bar accepted. Healy, who do you think's gonna win?
That we have made a habit of making the tag divisions, both on Raw and SmackDown, look like a bit of a joke. I know on the SmackDown division it's been a bit better with the likes of The Bar, New Day, the Usos, sometimes the Bludgeon Brothers fight over them titles. About Raw, because they're not even putting them titles on the line in the show, which is stupid in itself. Um, as much of a banter choice it is to have Miz and Shane go for the tag titles, I will admit it's a nice change of pace, and the main roster has some good booking as concerns to long term. It is rumored that this is just going to be part of a feud that's going to evolve from this. That Miz and Shane are going to break up sometime before Mania, and that will lead to a match at Mania. And if they want the breakup to mean something, they're going to have to. It's going to have to be something other than, oh, we had a tag team for a few weeks, like I don't know, Y2AJ, because that remember that in 2016 that felt a little bit flat because there wasn't really much going on except for the wrestling prowess of literally had a tag title match and they split up after they lost the match to the New Day. If they win this match and become tag champions, I think there's going to be a whole lot more down the road if Miz or Shane turns on the other one, as it will mean that they've achieved something. They become tag champions, and that's probably the only way for them to go forward if they want to do this feud properly and do it the service it deserves. So, just for the sake of the rumored WrestleMania match, I'm going to have to go with Shane and Miz, the best tag team in the world, to beat the Bar.
God, that name. Seriously, them dubbing themselves as that. Well, okay, it wasn't exactly that name, but it was close enough to the world's greatest tag team, and I'm pretty sure probably at least that had to have been bantered a bit. But I might as well just say Miz and Shane. I mean, if they put the freaking tag belts on one of them on a 10-year-old boy who was the son of a referee, then they'll probably do this. There's just, this company and how they treat tag team wrestling. It drives me crazy sometimes. And the Raw Tag Champs, they're not even on the show. Wait, are they in the... I don't think they're... No, neither of them are in the Rumble, so... yeah, whatever. Just... goodness gracious. This company sometimes. But yeah, just go with Miz and Shane. Sorry, Bar. And that's pretty much gonna do it in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. On paper, all these matches look like they should deliver, so... yeah, let's just pray that they don't mess it up, because, yeah, but I'm not sure if their chances of that are high that they won't mess it up. But, oh, who am I kidding? Let's just hope at least it's still good. I mean, last year's Rumble was a step up from the year before Rumble, so who knows? Maybe we'll get a better Rumble this year than we did last year. I would hope so. Anyways, I want to thank Heathie, as always, for being here. Say bye, Heathie.
Have me on. See you guys later.
Yep, and I will see you guys, or we, I should say. We will see you guys next time for Elimination Chamber. Until then, bye for now.